I was 14 years late to my own life. That's the only way I can explain it. The day I found out started like any other quiet, ordinary, forgettable. I had gone back to my childhood home to help my mom clean out the attic. She said she was decluttering, I think, deep down. She just didn't want to be alone with her memories. Boxes were stacked everywhere. Old toys, school notebooks, report cards, pieces of a life I barely recognized anymore. I hadn't lived there in years. My life now was stable, predictable, safe. A decent job, a small apartment, no big risks. Nothing like the dreams I once had. Back then, I wanted more. Way more. I still remember senior year like it was yesterday. I worked harder than anyone I knew. Late nights, early mornings, endless applications. And one application mattered more than all the rest. My dream school. The one I never stopped thinking about. I checked the mail every day for weeks. Nothing. Eventually, I got used to the silence. No letter meant rejection, right? That's what everyone told me. That's what I told myself. Maybe next time, my mom had said back then. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. So I let it go. Or at least, I thought I did. Up in the attic, I opened a dusty box labeled school stuff. Inside were folders, certificates, random papers. I almost didn't notice the envelope at the bottom. It was yellowed with age. My name was on it. My heart skipped. The return address made my hands freeze. Columbia University. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. No way. I whispered. My fingers trembled as I opened it. The paper inside was crisp and touched like it had been waiting for me all these years. I read the first line once, then again, and again. Congratulations. The word echoed in my head like a gunshot. I had been accepted. 14 years ago, I had been accepted into my dream college. And I never knew. My chest tightened as the truth crashed into me. This wasn't a lost letter. This wasn't a mistake. This was hidden. I walked downstairs in a daze, the paper shaking in my hands. Mom, I called out. She looked up from the kitchen, smiling at first until she saw my face. What's wrong? I held up the letter. Her smile vanished. Why do I have this? My voice was calm, but it didn't feel like mine. Why is this in a box? Unopened, in the attic? She didn't answer. Mom, I said again, louder this time. Why? Her eyes filled with something I couldn't immediately place. Guilt, fear, regret. All these years. I continued, my voice breaking. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I failed. That's not true, she said quickly. Then what is true? I snapped. Silence stretched between us. Finally, she sat down. I didn't want you to go, she whispered. The words hit harder than anything else. What? You were all I had, she said, tears forming. Your father had just left. The house felt empty. I was scared of being alone. I stared at her, unable to process what I was hearing. So what? You just decided my life didn't matter? That's not fair, she said, shaking her head. I thought you'd be okay. There were other colleges, other paths. You didn't even give me a choice, I said. My voice was rising now. Years of confusion and quiet disappointment finally finding a target. Do you know what I gave up? I continued. Do you know how many nights I stayed awake wondering what I did wrong? She cried openly now. I was trying to protect us, she said. From what? I asked. From me leaving. That's what kids do. They grow up. They leave. That's life. I know, she whispered. I know that now. But now didn't matter. Now was 14 years too late. I left the house that day with the letter in my hand and something heavy in my chest. Anger, yes, but also grief for a life I never got to live. For weeks, I couldn't stop thinking about it. What would have happened if I had gone? Who would I be now? Would everything be different? Or would I still end up here? One night, I pulled the letter out again and read it carefully. At the bottom, there was a line I hadn't paid much attention to before. We look forward to the contributions you will make to the world. It wasn't about the past. It was about potential. And maybe, just maybe, that part wasn't gone. I didn't forgive my mom right away. That kind of betrayal doesn't disappear overnight. But I also realized something else. I couldn't spend the rest of my life trapped in a moment that had already passed. So I made a decision. I applied again, not to the same place, not chasing the exact same dream, but something close enough to matter, something that felt like mine. Because even if I was 14 years late, I wasn't done yet.